Abdelrahman Al-Sefi, a 23-year-old sumo wrestler, did a backflip in celebration after knocking his opponent off the dohyo. Apparently, this is a no-no, so here's what happened next.
And the decision is...
Hey!
A little bit of excitement is the most gentlemanly way for saying they are pissed the F off.
We'll confirm what's happening with the competitors from Egypt. Get off the dohyo. Get off. Get off. Get off, and other people please step out of the dohyo area. We'll make sure what is happening.
Why isn't the hell you're doing it if you don't understand what you're doing? Are you even messed up?
A crazy scene, but Al-Sefe's coach got one last word in.
If he even doesn't know how to judge, why are you doing it?
Chaotic moments, yet the question we must ask, was it warranted? As you witnessed, police were called to the sumo contest that took place in Birmingham, Alabama, roughly 1 month ago. Al-Sefe, an Egyptian wrestler, was disqualified for unsportsmanlike conduct after celebrating his win with a backflip, which is really something, because you thought the unwritten rules of baseball were a thing, and then sumo wrestling is like baseball, hold my beer. It is a sport as old as time. In Japan, figurines of sumo wrestlers have been unearthed, dating back to somewhere between the 3rd and 7th centuries, and the sport is mentioned in the myths and legends of the Kojiki and Nihonshoki Japanese history books. With a heavy emphasis on rituals, sumo is a way of life dictated by ancient traditions. The rules which Rishiki live by, from the way they dress to how they carry themselves during bouts and in daily lives, evoke the way of the samurai. Thus, if someone were to perform, say, a backflip, it would not be well received. And that's exactly what Al-Sefe did. AL.com's Joseph Goodman wrote, "History was made when Al-Sefe of Egypt won and then lost and then won again the gold medal sumo match of the men's lightweight division of the 2022 World Games." That's putting it simply. It was an experience. Al-Sefe was DQ'd for celebrating a winning sequence against Demid Karachenko of Ukraine. Al-Sefe threw Karachenko out of the ring, and then Al-Sefe threw a backflip for the crowd. The people of Birmingham loved the backflip. The ref and the judges, and Watts, the ringside announcer, did not. Watts explained over the speakers that sumo was about honor and not backflips, because this was the way it was in Japan. Look, I'm not going to have the sumo community come after me. Here's what I will say. Sports evolve. Like, for example, the Lambeer style play in basketball, well, we'd rather have more athletic dudes playing the 5 than a guy who just punches everybody in the face. I have a few more. In baseball, having netting around the field, kind of a positive. Oh, well, it disrupts the game. It disrupts my view. No, actually, we're going to focus on the safety of the fans. That should be pretty cool. In college basketball, a shorter shot clock, so there's more possessions. That's good too. Even gymnastics still maintains this level of professionalism because they muzzle their athletes from expressing themselves. This is starting to change right now and in the past few years, but it is still way, way, way short. There is this professionalism about it. And let me be clear, when I say professionalism, I mean over-the-top professionalism. Thus, there is zero reason a man who won fair and square gets DQ'd because he joyously celebrated by doing something that none of us can do. Thus, the coach lost it. Law enforcement stepped in, but here's what happened next. The protests and the chants and the fact that Al-Sefe wouldn't leave the ring after he was DQ'd caused the ref and the judges to call for a rematch. It's like they didn't know what else to do. No one wanted an international incident. It was unbelievable. wrote Goodman. In the rematch, Alsefe and Karachenko carried each other out of the ring, but Karachenko's toes touched him out first. This time, Alsefe didn't do a backflip, so he remained the winner. So let me see if I follow. He won. He did a backflip. Was told he lost. He refused to leave the dojo. The officials basically just threw their arms up and were like, rematch, do it again. And they did, and then he won for the second time. That is, wow. I'm sorry, this calls for this meme ASAP. Goodman snapped the pic of athlete and coach all smiles after going 2-0 in the gold medal match, or matches. The coach, it turns out, is famous in Japan for being the first pro sumo wrestler from the African continent. His name is Abdelrahman Shalan, but he wanted me to refer to him by his ring name in my column, penned Goodman once more. Well, what's that? That is what he wrote in my notepad. Osunarashi.